This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. It's Thursday, July 8th. Well, the California Highway Patrol is investigating a deadly crash in Death Valley National Park, not far from Panamint Springs Resort.
A 42-year-old man from Beaufort, South Carolina, died in a single-vehicle crash Monday evening on California Route 190 between Panamint Valley Road and Town Pass. California Highway Patrol says the driver appears to have failed to negotiate a turn and traveled off the roadway where his pickup overturned, causing major damage. The passerby discovered the crash, but due to poor cell coverage in the area, had to drive to the Panamint Springs Resort to call for help. The victim, an only occupant of the vehicle, was not wearing a seatbelt and died at the scene. This is the first road-based fatality in Death Valley National Park this year.
Thanks so much, Brad Francis, for that report. Well, if you had the Pfizer COVID-19 shot, the manufacturer says that it is developing a booster shot to protect patients from the upcoming variants. Pfizer says that they are seeing a waning in immunity from the coronavirus vaccine. They say that they're picking up efforts to develop that booster dose that will protect people from variants. They are seeking emergency use authorization from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for that in August, after releasing more data on how well a third booster dose of vaccine works. While protection against severe disease remained high across the full 6 months, a decline in efficacy against symptomatic disease over time and the continued emergence of variants are expected. Based on the totality of the data they have to date, Pfizer and BioNTech believe that a third dose may be beneficial within 6 to 12 months following the second dose to maintain highest levels of protection. Well, a trash truck slams into a pole in South and North Pahrump today, knocking out local residents and putting them in the dark without internet service as well. Residents in the area of Blosser Ranch Road between Blagg and Lola Lane were out of power and internet service this afternoon as a result of a single vehicle crash. How the accident occurred is under the investigation of the Nye County Sheriff's Office. A dump truck owned by Pahrump Valley Disposal struck a power line holding a transformer, which then brought down power lines and another power pole. After veering off the roadway, the truck made its way through a residential yard, causing more damage to personal property. The driver was not injured at the time of the crash, and there was no other injuries reported. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene, along with NCSO auxiliary units who blocked traffic from Blagg Road to Lola Lane, while Valley Electric crews repaired the poles, transformer, and Suddenlink crews restored the internet service. And Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating a rollover crash of a tractor trailer in Amargosa. Tuesday afternoon, a driver of a tractor trailer was transported by ground ambulance to Desert View Hospital as a result of a single vehicle rollover crash on Highway 373 near Mineral Road in Amargosa. How the accident occurred is under the direction of Nevada Highway Patrol's investigation. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies who blocked traffic while the investigation was underway and the removal of the large truck from the roadway. Well, we've all seen roadside memorials marking the spot where someone lost their life in a motor vehicle crash. The Nevada Department of Transportation wants to establish formal policies for the installation of such memorials, and they're seeking the public input to help guide their decisions.
NDOT wants to establish formal policies for the installation of roadside memorials on state roads and highways and guidelines for creating secondary highway names to honor Nevada public servants. And they're soliciting public feedback through a special website to help guide their decisions. Through July 31st, you can visit dot.nv.gov/memorials to provide your thoughts and ideas. In addition to the online survey, NDOT will also solicit public comment once it develops a draft policy. More than 300 people people were killed on Nevada roads in 2020. Many times, family and friends create a roadside memorial to remember a loved one. NDOT says right now it leaves most of those, only removing them if they endangered traffic safety by presenting a physical obstruction, visual distraction, or potential of being blown onto the roadway. NDOT Director Christina Swallow says every roadside memorial marks a tragedy and loved ones who will not be coming home. She says public input will help as NDOT develops policies to best preserve the memory of those lost while also ensuring safety. In addition to roadside memorials, NDOT has no current formal policy as to how it designates a secondary name for a segment of highway or road in honor of fallen law enforcement officers, elected officials, veterans, and others. Utilizing public feedback, NDOT wants to develop a more uniform process for secondary highway names. Again, if you have ideas, you can participate in the survey by going to dot.nv.gov/memorials.
Well, stay right here with News 25. We will return right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
And this just in, at 3:49 this afternoon, there was a significant earthquake in central California. They are reporting a 5.9 earthquake in the town of Walker, and they don't have any reports at this time of injuries or damage. Of course, we'll keep you updated on that. They are reporting that there has been dozens of aftershocks ranging from 2.9 to 4.2 in that area near the California-Nevada border. Well, tonight, Governor Steve Sisolak will announce the winners of the Back to Nevada Days initiative. Those who have had at least their first COVID-19 shot are eligible for the drawing. Anyone over the age of 12 years old who has received at least one dose of the vaccine will be automatically entered into the weekly drawings. The drawings are random, and each winner's vaccine records will be checked to make sure that they got their COVID-19 shot. The prizes include one prize of $250,000, another prize of $50,000, 4 prizes of $25,000, 10 prizes of $1,000, and those who are 12 years and older will qualify for at least 125 fishing licenses, 50 state park passes, and ages 12 to 17 can win 14 tuition assistance prizes. The drawings will continue until August 26th, which winners will be announced each Thursday, and the winners will be announced tonight at 6 p.m. A house guest is allegedly assaulted by the wife of his host.
Deputies were investigating a report of a domestic disturbance in Pahrump. The victim stated that his friend's wife, Hope Woods, was causing a scene. She was continuously telling him to leave the residence, but he was still invited and welcomed at the residence by his friend. He said there was an argument, and as it escalated, Woods grabbed a barbecue fork, held it in a threatening manner, and then stabbed him in the elbow with it. According to the declaration of arrest, Woods then grabbed a kitchen knife from the dishwasher, held it in a threatening manner, and said she was going to stab him. She eventually dropped the knife without causing more harm. Woods told deputies that the entire incident was verbal only. While trying to place Woods in wrist restraints, she began to resist and attempted to flee. Law enforcement found probable cause to arrest Hope Woods for assault with a deadly weapon, battery with a deadly weapon, and resisting a public officer.
Thank you to Krista Stumney for that report. Well, deputies were dispatched in Beatty for a man allegedly attempting to steal a vehicle.
On June 20th, deputies responded to Eddie's World gas station in Beatty for a possible assault and attempted theft of a vehicle. The victim said that she was sitting in the passenger seat of her car waiting for her husband to come out of the store. She noticed a yellow Penske rental truck pull into the service station behind her as a man stepped out of the truck and walked toward her vehicle. He yelled at her several times to move her car and was very angry. She chose to ignore him and not look at him. The man was later identified as Michael Darian. He walked around to the driver's side door of the victim's car, opened the door, got in, drove the car approximately 20 feet from the gas pump, and stopped in the parking lot drive lane that grants access to and from the business. Darian and the victim stepped out of the vehicle, and she approached him. Darian asked her, "What you gonna do?" while pointing the fuel nozzle. Responding in self-defense, the victim grabbed a squeegee and raised it in the air towards Darian as he lunged at her, causing her to lose her footing and fall onto her back. The victim said that she was in fear of Darian's intentions and was observed to be trembling. Darian then went to the truck and pulled into the gas pump area without further incident. Deputies made contact with Darian at the same gas pump as he was fueling up the truck. He was placed in wrist restraints and was advised that he was being detained. When asked to explain his side of what happened, he said he was frustrated by how long everyone was taking at the pumps, and he asked the victim to move. He allegedly admitted that when she ignored him, he got into her car and moved it away from the pumps. A witness corroborated the victim's statement. The victim's husband provided a written statement saying that he walked over to confront Darian and said that he was turned toward him with a clenched fist and began yelling. Feeling like Darian would become violent, he went back to his wife. Michael Darian was arrested for taking possession of a vehicle without the owner's permission and 2 counts of assault.
News 25 will return right after this.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, this past year, lots of people brought home new pets or moved with their pets in tow. And not everyone thought about how to pet-proof their homes. In today's Ask Angie segment, Bailey Carson discusses ways to protect your new pets while also keeping your home looking like new.
Not everyone who added a new pet to the family during the pandemic pet-proofed their home first, or people who moved with their pets may not have thought about setting up their new home for themselves and their furry friends. Now that things are opening back up, you might be realizing your home is not pet-proofed for leaving your pup alone. Bailey Carson, home expert at Angie, is here to offer some tips on how to pet-proof your home and design it to last, regardless of how many pets you get.
Pets are such a wonderful addition to the family, and there are a few things that you can do to make sure that your home is a safe and happy place for them. If you have a secure yard, a great idea is to consider a pet door. You want to make sure they can't escape once they're outside, but otherwise it's a great way for them to get out and run around when they like. And don't leave any food too close to the door because that can attract unwanted critters.
Giving your pet more space to explore is great, but there are some benefits to containing them as well. Crates and baby gates can help create a pet-friendly area where you can add water, toys, and a comfortable place to lie down. Make sure this area is clear of hazardous materials, food, medications, and personal items they could end up destroying, like hats, socks, or slippers, especially if you're planning to leave them home alone.
Get in the habit of putting away potentially dangerous items. Things like wires, sharp objects, choking hazards, poisonous items, or other things that could cause your pet harm. Also, if you have a larger pet, consider securing furniture that's close to the wall so that it can't topple over during playtime.
Plants and flowers are a great way to add life to your home and garden, but now that you have a pet, you should be aware of which ones are dangerous if eaten. For example, lilies are really dangerous for cats, and aloe vera, hibiscus, and jade are examples of off-limit plants for both dogs and cats.
If you're doing any renovations, one thing to consider with pets is flooring. You want to make sure that you use a material that can handle whatever muddy paws it sees. Vinyl and laminate are great options for this reason, as they're scratch resistant. Also consider finishes and textures that will hide any pet damage.
Make sure you know how to clean and protect any flooring, new or old. Have the right cleaners on hand for your floors and furniture. It's also a good idea to get in the habit of closing bathroom and laundry doors so your pets don't drink from the toilet or end up stuck in the washer or dryer.
If your pet is particularly curious or you're having a hard time pet-proofing your home on your own, you might want to call in a pro. Many pros who do child-proofing also offer pet-proofing. This will help to keep your pet safe and happy in your home for many years to come.
Do you have questions about your home projects or home care business? Tweet your questions using hashtag AskAngie. That's hashtag AskAngie, and you may get some tips in an upcoming segment.
I might want to ask Angie how to keep my dog away from my flip-flops and my drip lines. Well, if you love chocolate, we have some good news for you. Well, it's not considered a health food per se. Chocolate with a high cocoa content has been shown to have nutritional properties that may benefit your health.
There's been a lot of studies that show that the specific antioxidants in chocolate, specifically flavonoids, have been very helpful with lowering LDL, lowering blood pressure, increasing HDL.
Julia Zumpano is a registered dietitian for Cleveland Clinic. She says research shows flavonoids in chocolate may increase dopamine and endorphins too, creating a mood-boosting effect. However, she warns that calories can add up quickly with chocolate, so she suggests no more than 1 ounce per day, which is about 30 grams and 200 calories. And the darker the chocolate, the better. She recommends 70% cocoa or higher.
The higher cocoa content, the more you're going to get those properties. And the bonus to that is the higher the cocoa, generally the lower in sugar. So if you find a chocolate bar that's about 90% cocoa, the sugars can be as low as 4 grams, which is extremely low. It's about a teaspoon of sugar.
Zumpano advises steering clear of white chocolate and milk chocolate, which are high in sugar and fat and provide no health benefits.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler staring out the KPVM weather window at Hurricane Elsa. Man, when it gets so hot like we've had it these last couple of weeks, don't you kind of wish for a little hurricane inland? Might not be the only one. We'll tell you all about the weather. Come on back. Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. It's lovely to see you on a thirsty Thursday, as we are all thirsty, man, because it's so dang fuego up and down the state. Let's look at it. 103 degrees up north, 105 even farther south at Fallon. Oh, look at Carson City at 97, 98 degrees in Tonopah. Triple digits just throughout. As we get down to Amargosa, it's 113 degrees. Vegas, similar, likewise. Death Valley, 124 for a high today. No relief in sight, but here in the paradise of Pahrump, where the air is pure, the grass is green, and the lawns are irrigated, so they don't dry up and blow away. It's 108 degrees. A little even, yeah, it's cooled off just a titch from 109, which was our high earlier. Sun rose this morning at 5:33 a.m. It's setting this evening at 8:03. Yes, right on the money, and the forces of night are advancing upon us. The low tonight will be 85 degrees. Look at that humidity, 19%. That's going to make us kind of muggy feeling, but I think it's cleared up for tomorrow. Let's take a look at least. Yep, looks like clear skies tomorrow. Winds hovering in and around the 10-mile-an-hour range throughout the week. We're going to pick up some clouds Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Looks like clouds in earnest on Tuesday. They gave us a big cloud, so we might even see some rain. Temperatures dropping slightly from 113, 114 degrees down to 103 as we head towards the end of the week, and that'll feel just like heaven, don't you think? All right, things to look forward to. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. Well, temperatures are going down. The wind's going to go up just a bit. Well, in today's Ed News Report, Kim Martinez asked, so how do you give minority students an advantage in a high-tech world? Well, at Dr. Howard Fuller Collegiate Academy in Milwaukee, it's all about hands-on experience.
I am a tech ambassador.
An impressive title for an impressive job. Jamari Hill is just one of dozens of students that handle most of the technical needs at Dr. Howard Fuller Collegiate Academy in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a school almost entirely made up of lower-income African-American kids.
We help around the school. We help teachers, students, like with their tech issues and other issues. My favorite part, it just like I like helping people. Like I like going around helping others.
So technology ambassadors handle all level 1 technology issues with students and staff. If it's a problem, you can come to a technology ambassador and they can help you with it.
A former tech ambassador himself, in addition to attending college, Nazir Ali Powles now works as the Academy's help desk manager. He knows firsthand how the school's belief in expanding students' tech and social media reach pays off.
Video is about getting vaccinated.
Also, that's around IT, social media, tech ambassadors, all the social media and all the content that we post is majority student-led. Tech ambassadors come up with the ideas. They're behind the camera, they're on the camera.
A senior at the Academy, Kanya Ali Powles, says the social media aspect of the program is what attracted him.
That's really why I really joined the program, the Tech Ambassador program. So because I really like technology and media and stuff like that. So
Represent a new name, but it's still the same game.
Videos such as this one revealing a new name and logo for the school are what makes the job of tech ambassador so much fun and puts the students in a great position to succeed in the future in our high-tech world. Kim Martinez reporting.
Thanks so much, Kim, for that. Well, Health and Human Services has a couple events they want you guys to know about. They have had quarterly events where they are helping the community with things like rent and utility assistance, food bank, employment assistance. So they're having one in Amargosa, and for the rest of the year, one is at September 8th and the other one December 7th. And of course, that's going to be at the community center from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. There's also one happening in Beatty for the rest of the year, and we want to talk a little bit about that one. That one for the rest of this year is August 3rd and November 2nd at their community center right there in Beatty from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. And of course, the same offerings are there as well. For more information, you can of course call the Prump office at 751-7095 or Tonopah 775-482-8125. We want to let everybody know that last week for the 4th of July, they didn't have the movies in the park that we have, those free movies, but they are starting up again this weekend, and that is free at Ian Deutsch Memorial Park, right there off of Honeysuckle, between Dandelion and Pahrump Valley Boulevard. Bring your blankets, bring your chairs, bring your family, lots of fun. This movie this weekend is Maleficent, and it starts there at 8:15. They even have a snack bar to help out right there at Ian Deutsch Memorial Park. We'll see you back here on News 25 tomorrow night.